Hi everyone, I'm Laura Gale Locke with your City 7 News Now update. The city of Wichita has recorded its 7th fire fatality of the year. We have Captain Stuart Bevis of the Wichita Fire Department here with us today. Captain, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, Laura Gale.
What can you tell us about this most recent fire fatality?
The fire happened about 2:15 this morning. The fire crews arrived on the scene and found that there was a 59-year-old male inside the home in his bed, and the bed was on fire. They were able to get the man out, but he later succumbed to his injuries at the hospital. We discovered during our investigation that the fire originated on the bed due to the victim smoking while having home oxygen in the area. He was on oxygen and led to the fire.
Was a working smoke alarm present?
Yes, in this case we actually did have a working smoke alarm, and another occupant in the home actually heard the victim yelling for help, and then the smoke alarm sounded right after that, and she was able to initiate 911 and try to help him before we got on the scene.
With a situation like this where somebody is smoking and on oxygen, take me through the scenario of what happens. How quickly does the fire like this start?
Any fire needs oxygen to burn, but when you go from the oxygen and air, which is in the 20% area, to 100% oxygen, it makes any fire more intense. And so anybody with any oxygen-enriched atmosphere, whether it be at home or a hospital, no ignition sources such as candles or smoking cigarettes, pipes, or anything like that should be in the area, because any open ignition source can become instantaneous flame and can make any fuel burn much more readily because of the enriched oxygen atmosphere.
Do you have any preventative tips for anybody?
First and foremost, do not smoke around oxygen. Any home that has home oxygen, there should not be any smoking inside the house. You never know when there may be a leak in tubing, and even if the end of the supply is in another room, the room you're in may have an oxygen-enriched atmosphere. So never smoke or have open flames in that area. Encourage family members that are on home O2 to avoid smoking. Unfortunately, some people think if they just set the cannula or other delivery device on their lap that they can smoke. If it's in the room or even in the dwelling at all, there's a potential for increased fire risk.
I know this is our 7th fire fatality of the year. How does that compare to other years?
Having 7 fire fatalities this year, that's the most we've had in several years. We experienced 4 last year. 2008 we had 6. In 2006 and 2007 both we had 8. And fortunately, out of those 7 fatalities we've had this year, 4 of them have been attributed to smoking.
And then what about the other 3?
The other 3, actually, 2 of them was where we had 2 people die in one fire on West 9th Street. That one, the exact cause was not determined. Smoking was a possibility in that one, but we also had electrical items, and the other one was electrical in nature out of the 7.
So with the 4 fire fatalities related to smoking, were any of the other ones related to smoking while on oxygen?
No, in those cases they were most either due to careless discarding or smoking in an inappropriate location, like while sitting on bed or sitting in a couch and maybe being drowsy or falling asleep.
With all 7, how many of them didn't have a working smoke alarm?
Out of the 7 fatalities this year, 3 of them we had no working smoke alarm. And also, out of those, one thing we have noticed is that people smoking or candles or whatever, if you have people in your home that cannot get around very well by themselves, that utilize a walker or a cane or a wheelchair, you have to be doubly safe. Any people in the high risk, very young people, very old people, or people who have a hard time moving around on their own, you must take even more precautions with whether it be open flame or electrical devices to make sure that they're in a safe environment.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Now, I know the fire department has been giving away some free smoke alarms along with the help from some sponsors. Is that something you guys are still doing?
Yes, that's still operating, and we're hoping to keep it going with the help of our sponsors.
And who should people contact if they would like to take advantage of that program?
They can call the Wichita Fire Department offices at 268-4441. and they can make an appointment.
All right, Captain Bevis, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you for watching the City 7 News Now Update.